Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another project using the stuff. I am also playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life, series number 12, and I have this amazing sketch that is by Corey Mace. I absolutely loved this sketch when I saw it. Now, I'm not a triangle person, which these are triangles, but as my friend Janet points out, they're just the corners of your papers. So I'm going to try to use that. I also have this chicken wire from Janet. She put that in a table gifty, and I just don't know how I'm going to use it, but I'm going to try today. I also have some odds and ends from 49 and Market, Echo Park. I don't know where else, just all over the place. Some of it is some assemblage required. I have these super uber old buttons I picked up a few years ago. Some of these birds that I made for a kit club a long time ago. This gorgeous camping word from Scrapbook Addicts. I absolutely love this. And oh, look, leaves. Let me just dump those all over the place. So I've got those leaves from 49 and Market. That was fun. I have two photos that I'm going to be trying to add to this layout. I did not have three, but I do have these two adorable photos of us just camping out and having a good time. Now, I picked out these papers. I picked the butterfly paper because of the color. Plus, we're outdoors. Butterflies fly outside. Okay, it makes sense to me. I've got this green that was left over from the Brave collection from Photo Play. And then from Paper Rose, I have this one left over from the Mountain Trek collection. So I'm going to go ahead and use those three papers as making my said triangle. Now, in my brain, this should have worked. One of the things I have to take a note of is these Tim Holtz scissors. They cut anything, you guys. I'm just saying. They are phenomenal having that serrated edge on them. So I am going to fiddle fart around with this triangle piece because, again, it's a triangle in my brain, and Janet is sitting over to the left of me, and she's trying to tell me it's just the corner of your paper. Well, I get that, but when I'm trying to mess with this mesh, that, by the way, when I cut it like that, Cindy was like, thanks for the gift. Anyways, it was super fun. They went flying. I tried not to, so I started cutting a little downward, and then they kind of stayed in, where they were supposed to. But sorry, Cindy, I don't mean to be throwing product at you, So then I tried to, what is the word? Wrap the wires together, try to get it to stay put, and so I didn't have to worry about two pieces. That didn't work. So, of course, I had to straighten the pieces back out. This was rough. It really was. And then I was trying to figure out, how am I going to attach it? Janet was like, I got to see how you're going to attach this to the piece of paper. It was a guessing game. I just knew I wanted to make it work. So I didn't have a clue what I was doing or how it was going to work, but I did leave the process in for you all to see. But when I went to go do the smaller one, I left it out because it was the same thing, just a little bit longer because now it's smaller, and yeah, it was a hot mess. All right, so I am going to go ahead and I decided I don't think I do maybe I'm not. I don't think I do the brown or the greenish brown. I think I end up using that as my photo mat. And I only end up using two pieces of paper because when you look at it, she's only got three colors plus the white one in the center, which I assumed was the base piece, okay? So I'm going to have my yellow piece at the bottom, my mesh is my third piece, and then the butterflies were my mesh is the second piece. I can't count today either. And then my butterflies are going to be my third piece. So once I eliminated that brown piece, it seemed to be a little bit easier. And then, of course, I couldn't find my X-Acto knife, so I had to borrow Janet's cute little thing going on here. And Joni's table, luckily, is all glass because I forgot one of my glass mats. Oh, my goodness. I didn't realize that until I was halfway on the road, and I thought, oh, stars. And Janet did bring me a glass mat, but then as soon as I got to Joni's and I realized that she had a glass table, it was absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right, so here I go. Along with all that, I used double-sided tape on both sides of the mesh to glue the mesh on. It is going to leave that top portion or the exposed portion of mesh but I'm okay with that. I really am. And I'm using the score tape for everything. Like I am going to glue this puppy down so good it's not coming off. I do like the effect once I figured it all out and once I got it going. I'm glad I used this. Probably won't use it again in my scrapbooks because of the fact that it just, maybe I will if I have a chicken layout. Because you guys all know me, I'll use chickens on anything. So anyways, there is my little triangle. I absolutely love it. I have no idea what I'm waiting for. I bet I'm talking to somebody. Yep, I can't work and talk at the same time, in case you guys noticed that. That's why I don't do real-time videos, because then I would just be sitting there visiting with you while holding the same piece of paper in my hand for about an hour. I just I can't talk and move at the same time. It just doesn't work. So, well, my hands move. Does that count? Just not productively. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and trim off all of my ends that don't work and still visiting with the girls. See? Visiting. That's all I'm doing. Sorry about that. We had a grand old time, you guys. I just love it. I love it. All right, so then I went and I added a little bit of ancient splatter, just pretty much where they were splattered in the sketch. Sorry, I keep wanting to call it a layout. It's just inevitable. I should just call it a layout and get it done and over with. But in the sketch, I went ahead and I splattered just like they did. I thought it would be kind of cool looking if I splattered first, which I never do, you guys. I always splatter after, but I have to say the splatter is a little bit more controlled when you do it first. Plus, you don't have to worry about it getting on any part of your elements. Like if you don't want it on your journaling, you don't want it accidentally on your photo, or you don't want it on any of your cute little embellishments, splatter first. That is just the coolest thing ever, and I always forget to do that. So Corey, thank you for putting it on your layout, or on your sketch. See, I called it a layout again. On your sketch, so it reminds me to go ahead and get that done. Yep, love it. All right, so again, I used that dark green, which is in the butterflies, and it is also in the yellow paper. So I'm pretty shocked that all three of these companies, the butterfly paper was from Simple Stories, by the way. So all three of these companies had the same green, and it's unusual. It's just like trying to find a matching blue. So it was fun mixing these three companies. And then I don't have, I have Echo Park, 49 and Market, some assemblage required, and Joanne buttons, or I don't think they're Joanne. I think they're Hobby Lobby buttons. So I don't even have product from Simple Stories or Photo Play or paper tray or paper tray. Ooh, haven't used that product in a long time either. But anyways, I don't have any of those products to put on my layout. So this is definitely a hodgepodge, and that is one of the reasons why I am loving using the stuff, because I get to see my stuff in a different light. I'm not looking at it as a collection. I'm looking at it as a whole and what would go good to help me tell my story. I love that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add my my photo down with some of this foam tape, because I have to work around that chicken wire, and the chicken wire adds a lot of dimension. And I don't mean a lot like it's going to be a ½ inch thick. It's only about as thick as this foam tape, which is a little bit thicker. I wouldn't say it's double, but it's a little bit thicker than the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, if you guys are familiar with those, just to get you guys a little depth perception going on there. Okay, and these are just photos of our campsite and my husband and my puppy just chilling and relaxing and enjoying the weather. We got a notice that the weather's getting ready to take a turn. We had to spend the rest of the evening in the tents because it just went nasty quick. And so we were sitting out there just waiting for it, kind of. We knew if we went too far, we'd get stuck in the weather. So we went ahead and just hung out and waited until the weather got bad so we could, crawl into our tents and call them all good. And trying to keep two puppies in the tent when there's stuff going on around, that was tough. Just letting you know, that was rough. All right, so I'm going to cut up these Echo Park die cuts, and go ahead and get rid of the backing so that way I have a tiny word sticker or not sticker, but a tiny word that says Happy Camper, and then a sleeping bag that says let's sleep outside, because that's basically what we're doing. We love tent camping, you guys. We are not the glamour camping type of people. We don't have, a house on two wheels taken out to go camping. Plus, the areas that we have for camping, they don't fit. So you basically have to go to a campsite where 642 other people are already camped there. That's not my kind of camping. I don't want to camp with my neighbors. That's why I left my house to begin with, is to give my neighbors some space, right? But it is what it is. Lots of people do it. My kids love when their friends invite them camping, and it's like one giant party for 2 days. For children, you guys, not for adults. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and tuck some of these 49 and Market tickets in and around everything. I've got I do have a Simple Stories little tiny word there. I don't know what it says. I think it says Great Outdoors. But that is Simple Stories. Most of it is 49 and Market. Oh, those trees right there, those are also Simple Stories. Now, these are all from the Lakeside collection, if you guys are curious at which Simple Stories they are from. They are all from the Lakeside collection. I cut the backs off of those buttons because they had little loop backs. And I'm just going to use the trees because, again, we don't use campers. So the camper doesn't really mean anything, but I'm pretty sure it'll end up on a camping layout just because of the fact that, it represents camping. It doesn't represent our style, but it does represent camping. Actually, I do have some camping photos where people had RVs. It was a Boy Scout camp. No, not a Boy Scout, a church camp out. And so that will come in handy when I get to those photos. And also, too, if you guys notice inside, oh my gosh, I love this camping word, the lettering and all that stuff. One of it has a tree with a picnic table. The other one has a tree with a gentleman hiking. The other one has a tree with a camper. And then a tent is in another one. A campfire is in another one. One of those folding chairs, like what my husband's sitting in, is sitting in one of the letters. I just love this, you guys. I really, really do. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I need to make sure that my letters are going to be straight, but I also need to add one. I love those little birds. Those origami birds are just so amazing. That was one of my first, one of my second maybe images that I played with, and anyways, so I'm going to try to make these letters straight. However, I also have to add foam so that way they don't lean, because I'm putting some of it on a photo that was popped up with foam, and I'm putting some of it on the paper. So I have to double my foam because I've already got foam going on, and I want it to be flat. So in order for me to do that, I had to double this up, or it would have kind of sloped down. Well, by the time that I get this done, and I did not realize that my layout was tilted, my camping word is crooked. Yep, I just went with it. I'm Dunsky. It's barely noticeable, but I notice it, especially when I go to put our happy place down. And now I have to realize, oh, I turned my layout. So camping, now that the layout is turned, you can see camping is crooked. But, it is what it is. I'm rolling with it. Yep. Keep on moving on, right? So I did cut up that set of 3 trees, and that way I had 3 little areas where I could have really cool trees. One of the trees up at the top between the 2 photos is also the paper tree. That one is also by Paper Rose from the Mountain Trek collection. So I did use a little bit of Paper Rose and Simple Stories in there. I know that I did not use, what was that paper called? Paper Photo Play, their Brave collection. So I know I did not use any of that because I just bought the papers for that collection. I might have to go in and get some more of those papers because they are fabulous, you guys. They've got camouflage and they've got this gorgeous green, and then on the back you saw the brown plaid. Whew, who does not like brown plaid? Everybody raise your hand. I do. Nope, I'm just kidding, you guys. I'm probably the only person where I can say my favorite color is brown, right? I love it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and work on the little embellishment up at the top. Now, I do know that I didn't want to just leave it the way that it is as far as, just the triangles sticking out there. Even though what I love about this sketch, Corey, is the fact that you did not tell me where my embellishments went. Now, you told me where my title was. I ignored you. I apologize. But you did not tell me where the embellishments go. And I think that's a great thing, because depending on how I use my photos will depend on whether or not I have room for that many embellishments. Or, plus when you do put embellishments on a sketch, some people tend to take that literally and go for that style of embellishment. So if you use stars, they're going to use stars. If you use flowers, they're going to use flowers. Same with hearts. It's just one of those things that tells us our brain, oh, that's the sketch, so that's what I'm going to use. And we go for it. I'm guilty too. I really am. So that's one of the reasons why I love sketches like this that just show how your papers are supposed to be designed, how your photo placement is supposed to go, and then bam, take off with it, right? I love that. I do love that. And again, I ignored where, my title was supposed to go, just because I had a lot bigger of a title. If I had, a smaller title, it would have been great. Another Simple Stories embellishment there for you guys. It was a sticker that I just cut up because the white border was just a little bit too thick. Look at all these goodies. Oh, I even added Heidi Swap in there. Look at that gold circle of Heidi Swap that says something. I don't know, but it's there. Oh my gosh, I love all of these little bits and pieces that I got on this layout. And it doesn't seem like I put a whole lot on this layout, but I feel like I used a lot. I love this. So here's a close-up of that amazing title. Oh my stars. Look at the stars that were cut out of that camping word. Sarah, you outdid yourself with this one. I love it. I really, really do. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate every time you guys come to hear me ramble on and on and on about just basically nothing, but it's my favorite thing to do, especially if it involves scrapbook supplies. So anyways, I again, thank you so much. Corey, thank you again for your amazing sketch. I really did like the challenge of the triangles. Don't forget that this video will be listed in the playlist for the Series 12 30 Days of Sketches. And don't forget to use your stuff. Thank you so much, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.